Good evening and welcome to the rest of the news. We're out here at the State Fair and we're talking with Robert Roser, who is running for the governor of Kentucky.
Hello, sir. It's a pleasure meeting you. Thank you for offering to come be here with me. It's an honor.
There are people here signing up petitions to get your position on the ballot, to confirm your position on the ballot.
Yes, sir.
And there are people here working to put prayer back in the public schools.
Amen.
You know, I don't know if our viewers know it, but Florida, Mississippi, and Louisiana have all put prayer back in their schools in the last year. And all these other states are working on it, and we're working on it. People are working to get that in Kentucky, too. So, now, as far as you know, you don't have any opposition at this point.
That's correct. I don't have anybody's idea who they are. Don't have any names, but
nothing definite.
Nothing definite at this moment that I know of.
Well, you're getting a lot of people out here coming up and signing your petition to get you on the ballot.
That's awesome. That's what we need. More people.
Now, I know you've been in the military. Tell me about your military service.
I spent a total of 30 years in the Army. I went in 1976 and I retired in 2005, December. My father also served in the Korean War. So my grandfather and my father were coal miners. So I have a tradition. My grandfather was a pastor also. So I grew up in a very poor family, but rich in heart and spirit. And ever since I've been in Afghanistan as a government employee, as a GS-13, then I went back over again as a GS-14. And I was working over there with the soldiers over at Bagram and Kandahar and Fallujah at different locations, provide support to our soldiers. And I had the opportunity to meet units from Kentucky, the 149th and the 577 National Guard. I got to spend days with those great, wonderful soldiers.
Now, what made you decide to run for governor?
That's a good question, sir. And what it was is that being a religious man, close to God person I am, I pray all the time, and I showed the soldiers over there no fear. I walk around, I was like the soldiers. They all respect me because I always talk to them about God. I went around and walked around like I had nothing to worry about. And I told the soldiers, if you fear God, and you're wrong. You're more than on the devil side of the house. You need to believe in God because God will watch you over and guide you in the right direction and protect you at all times. Every time I went to the bunkers with them, I would be singing Christian songs. I would study the Bible with them, read the Bible. We joke.
Really?
Yes, we would joke around. We had a great time. We even had Bible studies, classes set up. It was great spirit. And all of a sudden, God touched me. I turned myself over to God. I said, God, I'm yours. Do as you wish. Just take me as you want. My heart, my soul belongs to you. All of a sudden, God started giving me all these dreams of what I got to do and how I'm going to do it. And He kept telling me what I'm doing, run for governor of Kentucky. And he says, and I kept begging to God, and I pray to God, why me? Why me? I'm a nobody up on this earth. I'm just a speck. And all of a sudden, God came to me and told me, you got a good heart. You got a good soul. Take care of my people.
Yeah.
So here I am, running for governor of Kentucky. I gave up my job, quit, resigned, came back home, and now here I am running for Kentucky to take care of the people of Kentucky.
Well, now, what kind of work were you doing over there in Afghanistan?
I was a DCO. I was a DCO at first at Kandahar the first time. And then I turned around and went back down. I was a DCO at Bagram with S3 section again. Then I turned around and sent me over to Fallujah, and I was a DCO of all the contractors and all the different units.
Now tell me what a DCO is.
A deputy commander officer. guy who's in charge of all the contractors and all the civilians that work under him.
Okay.
So I was the go-to man. I'm the one, if they had with 35 different companies, if they had problems, they would come to me, and my job was to take care of them, organize them, make things happen. I was the go-to man. Anything they needed, I took care of it.
So you were like a technical specialist to get all the parts,
Right.
whatever they needed.
That's right. And
Make sure they had what they needed.
Correct. And I worked for, my boss was a colonel and a general. And every time we turn around, they said, Bob, we want this, Bob, we need this. You're the go-to man. You're the man who makes things happen.
Really?
And soldiers respect me and the civilians respect me. When we had some issues over there, they always came to me, and I would not stop, I would not quit till it's taken care of. But I never, ever took credit for any of the work. I always gave the credit to the people who's doing the job. And I told everybody, I don't want no credit for nothing. Like right now, when I'm going to go to Kentucky, it's not about me. It's about the people, it's about God.
Well, Robert, what is your platform? What is it that you hope to accomplish by running for governor?
Well, the biggest thing we need to do is put God back in everything. I mean, we need to put God back in the schools. We need to put God back in pledge allegiance. We need to put God back in our politicians. We need to put God back in our lives, because that's what we need. But we've been taken from us. We need to put everything back where it should be in the first place. Once that's done, we wouldn't have all these problems we're having in this world at this very moment. And my other thing is platform is that we need to create jobs. With my different language skills I have, and my lieutenant governor's different language skills, we can reach out to different countries from all over the world, and we can bring factories here to create jobs. Not on top of that, we also want to look into possibilities within the government for corruptions. We got to check into it and look it over, so we can make the things right. We need to make good. The government needs to be good stewards of the taxpayers' money. So really, the government needs to take care of the people. I've been out talking to flea markets and talking to people about their problems and issues. It really breaks my heart. It just seems like they're just being sucked dry. I mean, people make a living off of this. People make a living here, but we're putting such a crunch on them, they can't survive. They're being choked out. We need to unloose them and help the people out by doing a tax break. We need to do some kind of tax break for everybody, so we can get more money power back to the individuals to take care of the families. When you do that, you have spending power. Once you get spending power, we start creating more jobs. We start putting more factories and take care of the small business families to help them bloom and make them more blossom what they can be, so they can help bring more jobs. And before you know it, they can be having factories. We need to start taking care of communities. Every time I leave them folks, I go to my car and I cry with so much pain. It just irks me. So we need to take care of the people, and that's what it's all about.
You mean the people, like people walking down here?
All these people walking down here, all the people in Kentucky, everybody in Kentucky, we need to take care of the folks. It's about the people.
Right.
That's what I'm standing for, the people. Yeah.
What do you think of that?
Yeah, jobs or no jobs, you decide. There you go. You can put me in office, elect me, I will push everything I can to get jobs, so everybody can have jobs out there and have a paycheck. We got to get jobs for the folks. We got to take care of family members. We got to take care of our family. You're divided, we fall. United, we just stand. We have to stand together as one accord, but under God's umbrella.
So most jobs come from small businesses.
Small businesses, man. We got it good.
If they stop discriminating against small businessmen and stop telling them all of these bureaucratic rules and tell them, you know, we're going to let you keep some of the money that you make.
That's correct.
Build your business.
Another problem with small business, I've been talking to a lot of small business since I've been here at the state fair. They're being crunched. When they go to another county, they got to start paying the counties more taxes. When they go to another county, they got to pay them taxes on top of the other taxes. They're being taxed out. They're being drained of their resources of how they can take, and in order to make more jobs for them, we got to decrease these taxes so they can create more jobs, so they can grow and be a better, stronger business. That's the biggest thing I've been here since I've been here.
Some people say that, you know, the jobs don't come to Kentucky because everybody that works in Kentucky has to pay union dues if they want to work in a factory in Kentucky. In other words, it's a closed shop.
Right.
That in order to get a job at Ford or GE or anything, you have to join the union and pay union dues, or else you can't get a job. So a lot of companies say, well, I'm not going to open my factory in Kentucky because they, make you join the union. And then, of course, the union goes to basically the Democrat Party, and they have to, it just works against the business.
The unions, I've been talking to quite a few unions here since they've been at stands here. We've been talking. I speak Korean, so when I was over Afghanistan, I made a phone call over to Korea, and I was talking to two companies, matter of fact. One makes prefab apartments, and the other one makes automotive. And the biggest gripes they had was about our unions and how much drain it puts on the resources, and how if we didn't have a unit, it would bring more jobs here. That's what they were telling me about it. But then I turned around and talked about their unions too. That was surprised them that I knew about their unions, because I've been over Korea 19 times, and they were all under unions. So I had 120 Koreans working for me. I couldn't even move a table without getting a union permission to do so. So to break this gridlock between the units of these corporations, we need to make it thinner and make it more easier, and the unions need to bend a lot of the rules to help to bring factories here. Because you're right, the other day we just lost a factory. We heard about Take Back Kentucky, a meeting down in Elizabethtown, and they were talking about this company, and they walked away from us to go somewhere else. In order to do this, we need to start bending the rules. The unions need to start being more flexible, so we can bring companies here that bring more jobs here, so we can take care of our Commonwealth people.
Okay, we're talking with Robert Roser, who is running for governor of Kentucky on the Republican ticket, and he has no opposition at this time. Now, what do you think of this?
Drill for America Oil. Right now, we have a lot of oil resources here that we can drill into and utilize these resources so we can start cutting back on prices on gasoline. We keep bringing foreign gas prices in here all the time. I understand what they're doing. Logical, they're trying to drain out the resources from overseas first before they drain out our resources first. I can understand that. But to help the common man and family like here, we need to bring our own and start using our resources too. Stop bringing resources back overseas, stop doing that, and so we can cut the price of the fuel down. Because when I was 20-some years old, gasoline was only 26 a gallon. Here we're up to 3 something. Yeah, remember those days? And here we are now. Prices are outrageous. We need to cut it down so put more money into the public's hands, so we can have more money to spend to purchase more things, to take care of the family members. I couldn't believe we go to price tags like $3.79. I think it was $3.47 this morning when I got gas.
Well, the thing is, when you go to the gas station and fill up with gas, a lot of that money ends up in the terrorists' hands.
It sure does. It goes back overseas to the terrorists. I mean, I'm over Afghanistan. I spent some amount of time in Iraq, then over there. They give it back to them. Here they're over there building up big cities and big corporations, and they give the people don't even work. They hire people to do all the work for them from other countries. They just sit around and do nothing, and here they keep getting more richer and richer and richer at our core, at our expense.
At our expense.
Yes, at our expense.
Now, what about this?
Which one?
To get one or the other, you can't have both.
Man. You just can't have both. You go one or the other, your choice.
We have to go to Detroit and ask them how they like socialism up there.
Well, they didn't do too well, did they? Boy, it just totally destroyed them, didn't it? It just took everything away from them. So we got to go, freedom. Got to go. We got to do something. We got to start trying to think smarter. I got black belt Lean Six Signum, and what black belt Lean Six Signum is I've been Army trained for that, and it makes the process be smarter, not cut positions. What it does, it makes procedures a lot easier to work with. We just try to find a way to make things a better improvement, to be able to make it go faster and save money at the same time, but you not cutting jobs. And then we take care of the people, and the government saved a lot of money by doing these programs, and I've done a couple myself, but we never lost a job. Matter of fact, we created more jobs because it made it more easier and more flexible to work with. We cut down the costs. I set up a whole factory operation at Camp Mercer with my shop. We were working on all these vehicles. We just made assembly line. We made a nice flow to just cut down paperwork, and we saved the taxpayer a lot of money by doing so. But we also made it. The employees were excited about it because it kept their jobs, and it just made things so economic. And it's incredible.
Well, what were you producing in that factory?
We were working on rebuilt all the Humvees, all the 5 tons, all the fuel tankers, and all the engineer equipment over there. That's why I had 170 cranes working for me. At first, we had some pushback from the unions and everybody, but once we started getting in place, it's like the union, it's like the assembly line right now we have over here in the Ford company. It's just set up just like that. But we could do that any place, any office. I mean, any place you go to, you can do assembly line, make things a lot more smoother, and before you know it, a person can come in and can walk out the door within 5 or 10 minutes.
Because they can learn that fast.
They can learn that fast and get them out the door quicker and help them. That way we save the taxpayer money. That's what I like about it. It's really a good program.
Okay, what about this one?
A tax. We need to do something about the tax. We've been taxed so bad. The small businesses are being totally been taxed. The family members are being taxed. We need to come down with something, maybe flat rate tax of 5% or a fixed rate of 5% to take care of the people. We just got to do something like that and do away with the IRS income tax part of it. That way, that saves them a couple $100 more in their pockets. We need to do away with that. Fixed tax of 5% or flat rate tax of 5% across the board. That will make a world difference. Will definitely help out everybody.
Well, you know, that brings up the whole idea of Detroit again. They taxed everybody till they left the city, and then there was nobody to pay taxes.
That's correct.
So they gone bankrupt. And of course, they were given big benefits to the government workers, big retirement, big insurance, big everything. So they finally ran out of other people's money.
That's correct. Some people have been asking me why we don't do a sales tax, like Tennessee. The only problem with that is, I explained that to people. Yeah, it sounds great, but the problem is as consumers, you're going to have to suck it up. Well, what's happening in Tennessee? They're going across the border, not across the border, state lines, like West Virginia, North Carolina, coming to Kentucky to buy their products because it's cheaper. They don't have to pay their sales tax, 11%. Maybe now they went up some counties over there 9%. But here we are, 6%. Well, where would you go across to the other borders?
Yeah.
So if we do that, we're hurting ourselves. But we do a sales tax or flat rate tax, we're still being smart. We're still taking care of our people, and we're keeping our people here to continue working. Like you said, people don't pay too much taxes. They're going to go somewhere else.
Now, a flat tax,
Same
that
thing with
means
jobs.
Everybody pays like
5% across the board.
For everybody.
Everybody.
So if a guy makes $100, he's going to pay $5, and if he makes $5, he's going to pay
5% go across the board.
50 cents or something. So the more you make, the more you pay, but still,
that's correct.
It's the same.
It's the same across the
Now,
board.
somebody said, God only requires 10%. Why should the government want 20 or 30 or 40?
Correct. Yeah, that's correct. Why should we pay that much more tax? We should just go less 5% and give God his share of money as 10%. And I'm a God-fearing man, and I always tell people, if you don't have the money, it's how you give it, from your heart and your soul.
Yeah.
That's how you give it.
In Israel, in the Old Testament, they said, well, look, here's 10%. Everybody pays 10%. So if you make $1,000, it's 10%. If it's $1, it's 10%. It's the same.
It's the same
for everybody. And then that kept the government going. Was at 10%. Why should we pay 40%?
Well, why should we pay 40%? No.
The rest of it goes into somebody's pocket somewhere.
Yep.
Let's see what else we got here. Here's a DVD. All these things are being given away at your booth.
Yes, they are. They're given to the public so they can wise up with what's going on around the economy.
Now, here's a DVD that you're giving away free at the booth here, and it's called One Nation Under God. And it's about Dr. Dobson and how Dr. James Dobson, on Focus on the Family, and he is telling people, well, you know what, you need to be in politics, you need to be involved, You need to vote. You need to find out what people stand for and get their background, and then vote your conscience. Don't vote for somebody just because somebody tells you to. But you need to be involved in finding out what it's all about, ask questions, and this is really good.
It's really good.
David Barton is on here at the end, and he said, this is a little controversial, but he said, you know, if America fails, it's because the churches have failed. That's a terrible thing to say.
That's a terrible thing, but yeah.
But we need to get involved in what's going on.
Correct.
Okay? It's more than just singing a few songs and going home and forget about God.
Amen.
So I think you're doing a good job right here with all of this information that you're giving out.
I like to challenge all churches. I mean, I go to churches, a lot of people look at the door, and they're hoping somebody will walk in. Well, I think we all should get up and walk out and start talking to people. Because it's incredible the amount of people that I have met that don't believe in God. I have talked and I've witnessed to people. I mean, everywhere I go, people just, no, I don't believe in God. I said, well, first of all, you just mentioned His name. So you believe it, you already know God, you recognize God.
Yeah.
So I challenge all churches to get out and start talking to people and start spreading the word of God all over the place.
These petitions, I think that's wonderful that you're having people here filling out petitions, because, you know, when they took prayer out of the public schools, the crime rate went through the roof.
Sure did.
You know, I remember you leave your house or leave your car, you didn't have to lock the door or anything. Now you wouldn't dream of doing that, okay? And back before 1962, when they took prayer out of school, America had the best schools in the world.
They sure did.
Now I think we're 17th and falling all the time.
All the time.
And so, you know, I think what you say, we need to turn back to God and put God back into our schools.
Yes, sir. We sure do.
And that might help. Then the other thing that's happened since we took God out, the whole drug culture. Okay?
Yes.
The whole drug culture has started because we say, oh, there's nothing right and wrong, everything goes. So
yep.
There are a lot of problems because we've gotten away from God.
Sure do. We need to put God back in everything and everywhere.
Now, you know, this is a picture of you. That petition.
Petition, yep.
You know, if somebody wants a copy of this petition so they can sign up their whole church,
yes, sir,
they can call 893-2444 and we'll send them one.
Yep.
And if there's nobody there when you call, there'll be an answering machine and you can give your name, address, and phone number, and we'll call you and get you a petition, and you can sign up your relatives, your friends, your neighbors, and your whole church. And that number is 893-2444. And any of these DVDs or bumper stickers or anything else, if they call that number, 893-2444, we'll send them, and they're free.
Amen.
Okay, let me see what else we got here. This is a DVD on Common Core. Okay, Common Core is a government takeover of the public schools. So it's a terrible thing. You know, the parents don't get to decide what children are going to learn, and all the left-wing agenda is in the public schools. Pro-abortion, pro-same-sex marriage, pro-one-world government, more and more taxes, government in charge of everything. That's all in Common Core. And the parents don't have any say about it. So if you'd like this DVD, this is from Glenn Beck. We'll be glad to send you this totally free. Just call that same number, 893-2444.
That's a good one. That's really good.
Okay. Now you say this is the one that's been going.
It's going fast. People going by the table. First thing they go for is Jesus bumper stickers. It's a hot commodity right now.
You know, people put all kinds of stickers on their car. but this is the one that really counts.
Sure does.
And, you know, there are people that want to get rid of God. They don't want God in the public schools. They don't want God anywhere. So that's a good reason for putting, as they say, lift Jesus higher.
That's true.
And then we'll get the things of God back again. That was free too. If we give us a call, 893-2444, we'll send you that too. Well, what else?
Well, I don't know if people know that I'm not a rich man. I never had a silver spoon stuck in my mouth. I grew up in a very poor family. My grandfather was a pastor. Strong fire and brimstone as when he was a coal miner. My father went to the Korean War. I spent my time overseas in wars. My two sons served in the Air Force, so we had generations. My mother was diabetic, and she lived in Section 8. So we grew up very poor. And the reason why I'm here is because I got the call from God, and I gave it all up. Just gave it all up for Him. It's all in His hands. People challenge me quite a bit on it, and I tell them no. My heart and soul belongs to God, and I will not be corrupted. I am going exactly what I'm supposed to do for the Lord, and I'm going to be straightforward to what He wants me to do, and that's take the care of the people of Kentucky, no matter what. And that's exactly what I'm going to do. And He's going to make Kentucky the heartbeat of the United States.
That's right.
That's right.
Well, that's what we need, is we need to get back with God. And this is Robert Roser, and we're out here at the Kentucky Fair, and we're in his booth, and he's got people all around here signing petitions to get him on the ballot and to get prayer back in the public schools, just
Amen.
like Florida, Mississippi, and Louisiana have all done that in the last year.
Yep.
There's a big move of God. All the states are getting into this idea of getting back to prayer, and I think it's a great move.
Oh, it's a great move, and it's so joyful when you see that happening. The prayer is going back into schools. God's going to bless this nation all again. We all need to start praying for this nation and then bring it up to God
right.
again, so we can reach out. We used to be a real strong nation. We need to be a strong nation again under God's umbrella. That's what we need. We need God back in our lives now.
Well, I guess by the time this program airs, the fair will probably be over. But we've got several days yet.
Oh yes, we still got a few more days to go.
A few more days, and people are out here signing up like wildfire.
And I'll be back again for the Labor Day. I'll be over here. I have a stand set up again. I think it's going to be
like this.
Just like this, but I think it'll be in the West Wing. That's what I was told.
Okay. Well, we're all about out of time. God bless you, and God bless Robert Roser.
God bless you all.
Tune in again next week for the rest of the news.
Thank you so much. God bless you so much. Thank you.